Okay, welcome everybody. Good morning. Are you sleeping or asleep? No? Yes, some are smiling. Very good. So welcome to this workshop. My name is Dominique Grummelt, and this is the power of motion for a better journey. So I hope that we can have a good time together for the next 45 minutes or so. And we will also be a little bit active. You will not sit the whole time. But this building is nice because it's cooler in here, right? Yes, good. So I want to know, just this morning, did you sleep? Who slept? Raise your hand. You slept? That's good. Excellent. That's a good start. Excellent. Well, it's really, really great to be here, and I'm looking forward to spending time with you today. Can you understand me okay? Okay. So I would like to know, before we get started here, what countries we have here. So really quickly, who do we have? Where are you from? Throw it out. Portugal. Very good. Okay, who else? Hungary. Nice. Welcome. Iceland. Very nice. What did you say? Very nice. France. Good. Italy. Good. Anybody else? Slovenia. Very nice. London. That's like a country on its own, right? London, okay. Very good. Anybody else? Ukraine, excellent. Good, good. Finland? Are there any Germans here? Willkommen. Ich komme auch aus Deutschland. So anyway, as you can tell, so I'm German. I was born and raised in Germany, and I went to America when I was 17, and I got stuck there for a long time now. But I'm currently the director for University Health and Wellness at Andrews University. Do you know Andrews University? Yes? Okay. So this is the place where I work, and my passion is health, fitness, and wellness. And it is my passion today to hopefully inspire you to live a better and healthier life. That's my passion, okay? In addition to being the director, I have been a personal trainer for 16 years. I'm also a certified wellness coach, and I have my PhD in health with a specific focus on physical activity behavior and health psychology. So I study how I can help people to be less lazy and move more. That's what I do. Okay, so now you know a little bit about my passion, okay? So you can see where you're sitting. You have a packet, okay, for you. Some of you have been looking at the front page, which is good, and we'll get to it in a second. This is a resource and materials for you to take with you today, okay? So we will get started. I want to know a little bit about you. Raise your hand if you love physical activity. Ah, many. That's very good. Excellent, excellent. Okay, raise your hand if you are regularly physically active. Okay, a few less. Okay, good, good, good. I want to know which one of you at this Congress is counting their steps. Are you doing that? Okay. If you have a phone, okay, there are free apps you can take to calculate your steps. And my challenge to you at this Congress is to make sure every day you walk a minimum of 15,000 steps every day. Yes? So the question is, will you accept the challenge? 2 people, that's good. He says, no, I'm not doing that. So, I think many of you will automatically walk 15,000 steps here. You will walk a lot. But use your phone to calculate what you are doing. It helps you to start thinking about your activity while you're here. Okay? Good. So I will begin. And this workshop, I will give you some information. I will ask questions, which means you have to answer, okay? This is not a lecture, this is a discussion, okay? And then we will do a few exercises on paper and with our bodies, okay? Are you ready? Your enthusiasm is not big enough. What should I do to get you excited? Are you ready? Yes, a little bit more. Okay, so good. All right, so the power of motion for a better journey. My first question to you is, how do most children, teenagers, and adults spend their leisure or free time in most parts of the world? She goes like this. Okay, who agrees with her? Yeah, is this true? Is this true for you? Okay, so when you do this, what do? Do you sit or stand? When you do this, you sit, right? Okay, so the answer to this is that you sit, and most people actually truly sit the majority of the time, and I'll show you some facts. Torben, could you help me for this not to time out every time? That would be really nice. It has a timeout function. I don't know where the thing is. I think it'll be okay. So sitting is truly what we do most of the time. We're sedentary. Sedentary means you are basically not moving, like right now. Are you sedentary right now? This is really contradictory to this workshop. So we're going to do a little test for a minute. Put your pens down. You can stay seated. We're going to do just a little test for flexibility. Are you flexible? Okay, this is a little test, okay? Are you ready? I need some enthusiasm. Yes? No? Okay, so right hand up, scratch your back. Okay, left hand, touch your hand. How are we doing? Can you do it? Yes? Good? Okay, shake it out. Okay. Left side, scratch your back. Right side, touch. How's it doing? Good? Yeah? Some of us are doing this? Okay, good, excellent. Okay, shake it out. So this is just a little test to see if you have good flexibility. Come on in, join us. All right, so here's your true challenge. The 15,000 steps I can't control, but what I can control is this. This is the challenge for the next 30 minutes, okay? Where you're sitting, scoot all the way to the front of your chair with your butt. Scoot forward. Okay, on the chair. Very good. Now sit straight. Ah, much better. Okay, now your feet should stay planted on the ground like this. Okay, don't do this at all. Stay like so. Okay, next one. Pull your shoulders back. Ah, good. So now, do you know the word contract? Squeeze your abs. Squeeze. Okay, you got it? Okay, now squeeze your butt. Okay, you got it? Okay, now breathe. Keep breathing. Don't stop breathing. Good. So this, what you're doing now, is the proper position to sit in anytime. Okay? This is how you should be sitting at all times, wherever you are. We have become so sedentary, wherever the screen is, sedentary, that we are so lazy that most of us just do this all the time, right? And this is very dangerous because you can really do damage to your back and your body. Join us right here. Lots of space. Come on up. Come on up. So for the rest of the workshop, I need you to stay in this position. Is this okay? Yes or no? I think many people are worried right now. Are you worried? Okay. That's okay. I will remind you a few times, but this is your next challenge, okay? So many people do a lot of crunches. Who does crunches? Do you do crunches? Who does crunches? Okay. Or sit-ups, all the way sit-ups. This here is a better ab exercise than 100 crunches, okay? Because you stimulate your core. Okay, good. So now we're good to go. All right. So when you use Google and you type in here, sitting is, this is many of the results you will see now, okay? Can you see this, what it says? What does it say? Sitting is the new smoking. Have you heard that before? No? Okay, I'll talk about that. Sitting is killing you. Sitting is bad for you. This is what's running around the internet about sitting. And we're seeing many problems because we are so sedentary and lazy with our health and our fitness. So the question to you is, how much do you sit every day? Think about it. Normal day, not Valencia, okay? But normal day at home. How much do you sit? Think. Join us, come in. There's seats right here. Okay, I'll ask the question. Here in this room, who sits less than 3 hours per day at home? Okay? Who sits less than 5 hours per day? Okay, a few. For the whole, okay, let's assume everybody is perfect and sleeps 8 hours every night. So you have 16 hours waking time. So in 16 hours waking time, how much do you sit? So less than 5 hours, again. Okay, how about less than 7 hours? Less than 10 hours? Maybe I should ask more than 10 hours. Okay, here's statistically what's happening with all of you. Most of you sit more than 8 hours a day, statistically, okay? And this is what that means. Most of you, this is important, stay with me. Most of you, because of that, will die significantly earlier than you should. And most of you will get sick a lot earlier than you should because of sitting alone. You could be the best vegan or vegetarian in the world. You could do all the other healthy things, but if you are sedentary alone, it is much likely that you will die early and you will have chronic disease earlier in life. That's a fact, okay? So that's what we're seeing in the world. In fact, I think every chair should have a warning label, just like, the cigarette boxes have a warning label. And it should say, warning, prolonged use can be hazardous to your health. Because it is true, okay? So in the world, what we know, more than 25% of people sit for 8 or more hours per day, and that number is increasing every year. We're getting more and more sedentary. Why? Why are we sedentary? What do you think? Because of technology, right? You already said that. Why else? Why do you think we're so sedentary? Why do you sit? Laziness. Who's lazy? A few. Good. Excellent. Excellent. Good. Why else do we sit? Studying. Exactly. And we have been taught by our environment that sitting is what we do when we study, right? You've been taught to sit while you work or while you write or whatever you do. You've been taught to sit here. You came in and there's chairs, right? It's terrible. By the way, check your posture, please. Thank you. Good, much better. Okay, so sitting is really, really becoming a problem. In fact, if you look at this map of the world right here, you see in orange and red, all these areas where the colors are darker is where we have significant problems with people not getting enough physical activity, okay? And you can see that all these regions are following up. And the lighter it is, the better it is. And it's a problem everywhere. In fact, sedentarism is now a problem also in third world countries, not just in Western society. Okay? So, what I need you to understand today, there's a difference between structured exercise and just physical activity. Okay, so physical activity is just simply any movement. Okay, so do me a favor. Everybody just stand up and sit down. Stand up, sit down. Good, all right. Was this exercise or was this physical activity? Physical activity, because it was just movement. So physical activity is any movement. Like what I'm doing now is physical activity. I'm moving, right? But exercise is more specific. Exercise is meant to improve your physical fitness, okay? So that's the type of activity you structure. It's intentional, it's repetitive, you do it over a certain period of time. What do you need? Do you need physical activity or exercise? Aha, exactly. You need both, and that's been the biggest problem. For many years, we only think about exercise, but not physical activity. We say, if you do 30 minutes or 1 hour, you're fit. It's not true. We now know that if every day you exercise for 1 hour is good, but if for the rest of the day you are sedentary, you have almost the same risk factors as someone who doesn't exercise. So that means you need a combination of both as regularly as possible. So move as much as possible and have structured exercise as much as possible. Does that make sense? Yes or no? Yes. Okay, very good. So regular prolonged sedentary behavior is what? dangerous and seriously decreases your quality of life. In fact, we know truly that sitting can kill you, and it is killing many millions of people every year. So I want to teach you just a couple of scientific things. So hypokinetic disease, have you heard of this word before? Okay, many languages use similar roots. What does hypo mean? Hypo. Okay, lack of, right? It's actually not enough, and kinetic is movement. Okay, so this is the disease from not enough movement, and it's now a medical term because we have so many problems because of it. So this is really a disease or condition that comes from chronic physical inactivity that people develop. In fact, it leads to coronary heart disease, diabetes, obesity, lower back pain, and so on. 80% of you will have back problems in your life. And most of the reason is this. It's not because of injury, it's because of inactivity, okay? So I will do a little illustration for you, okay? This is currently the statistics, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All 7 of you will die early of heart disease or cancer. 7 of you. 1, 2, 3, you will die also, but later of other causes. Okay, so, but this is the statistics. About 70% of all people die early from chronic disease that is related to 4 lifestyle factors: physical inactivity, bad nutrition, alcohol, and smoking. And if these 4 things are yielded, you have a chance to live a much higher quality of life and also a longer life, okay? It's easy, no? People are not convinced. It's easy. It's not difficult. In fact, we cause so many of our own problems that we don't realize. So today, if you start thinking about it, you really have the power of motion to live a much better journey of life. When you're active, you think better, and I will show you all kinds of benefits in just a minute. So, consequences of not being active, besides dying early, there's other things, okay, is, for example, early loss of bone density, so your bones get weaker. Weakening of your heart and your lungs, weakening of your muscles. By the way, when do your muscles start actually already automatically getting weaker? At what age? Yeah, very good. About mid-20s, okay? Mid-20s, if you do not practice physical fitness or physical activity, your muscles will start already deteriorating, okay? Stiffening of joints, right? So the older ones of you, you know what I'm talking about. You know, you can't be in the same position for too long. It takes you a while to unfold. This happens. It decreases mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being. We know there's a direct correlation between all of these. Okay? So, for example, the less active you are, the dumber you are. It's true, scientifically. Okay? The less active you are, the less stable emotionally you are. The less active you are, the worse your regular spiritual well-being can be. Now, there are, and we can't go into those details, but we know there are many people with special conditions or physical conditions, and they can be very healthy. For example, I have a friend, and she is blind. But she's very healthy, and she's happy, and she's well. So her blindness is not limiting her. Do you understand what I mean? Okay. So, other consequences, of course, overweight and obesity is a consequence of not moving regularly. And by the way, overweight and obesity is not about looks. It's about health, okay? I have many students at Andrews where I've been teaching for a while and where I work, and I have students that look skinny, but they are over fat on our measurements. It's possible. I have students who look larger and are very healthy and fit. So it's not about what you see, it's about what's inside, okay? Diabetes is a huge problem, more and more. Heart disease, we already talked, asthma, high blood pressure, those are all consequences. So this is interesting. So you've been sitting for a while now, right? In here, 10, 15 minutes or something like that. So this is what's happened. You came in here And immediately when you sat down, your electrical activity in your legs actually shut off. So this already happened about 20 minutes ago, okay? And what that means is your body actually stops working the way God intended our bodies to work. So calorie burning is actually reduced significantly. Right now, you're burning probably less than about a half a calorie or a calorie per minute. There's not a lot going on. Your fat-burning enzymes drop. Your good cholesterol levels drop. Your insulin effectiveness decreases. And you are increasing your risk of death right now because you're sitting. I feel terrible. I'm going to give you an option. If you don't want to sit anymore, feel free to stand anytime, okay? There's lots of walls. Feel free to stand. I'm giving you an option right now. You don't have to sit. In fact, at Andrews, where I work and teach, anywhere I am in my classes, students never have to sit. They can stand, they can move, however they choose to learn best, they can do that, okay? So feel free. Thank you. Revolutionary. Okay, very good. Okay, so here's a little image. We can't go through everything, but I thought I'd show it to you. These are some examples of how you damage your body if you're sedentary regularly. So you see, you have problems everywhere. Your back, your legs, your heart, your neck. Over here, you can see even problems in your feet, your stomach, your arms, your lungs, and your head. So you really impact all areas of your body by not moving regularly, okay? Anybody feeling bad yet? Is this working? No? I'm trying really hard. Okay, so that means we're going to do a movement break together because every 20 minutes we should move, okay? So this is going to be funny because we don't have a lot of space, so watch your neighbors, okay? Stand up where you are. Okay. Very good. Okay, so try just very carefully, walk in place. Don't do much, just walk in place right now. Very good, very good. This is going to be like elementary school a little bit, okay? All right, good. So I'm going to stand here. Just do what I do. Okay, everybody, raise your right hand. And raise your left hand. Very good. And right hand. Good. And left hand. And both hands. Good. And down. Now we're going to try something. On the count of 3, I want everybody to do a right tap and a left tap. But watch what I mean, okay? See my feet as best possible. We're going to do right tap, left tap, right tap, left tap. See if you can pick it up. Left tap, right tap, left tap. Very good. Are we there? Are we okay? Yes or no? Yes. Okay then. All right, here we go. Tap, tap. Good. Keep doing that. Don't stop, okay? Everybody just keep doing it. Don't stop. Don't stop. Very good. You sound like an army. Very good. Okay. Again, right hand, left hand. It's a little dance. Hello. There you go. Good. And right hand. Good. So what we're doing now, we're actually training your body and we're training your mind because this is actually coordination. Very good. Excellent. Good job. Good job. Okay, now what we're going to do is stop. Find your chair. Make sure you're behind your chair. Okay. Wait. You're not sitting down yet. Okay. So I want you to sit down, stand up 5 times. Sit down. Stand up. Wait. Everybody together. Up. Okay, together. 1, 2, 3. Sit. Up. Down. Up. Down. Good. Up. Down. Good. What is our problem? We should do it together. Let's try it together. Everybody sit down. Sit down. Sit down. This is teamwork. Look around. Let's synchronize. Ready? And up. Down. I like it. Up. Down. It's fun for me to watch. Good. Okay. Very nice. Okay. So, what we just did, it's called a movement break. We did it for about 2 minutes. And scientifically, we know what just happened is we kick-started your system again. So all these things that I just showed you that suffered, they're functioning properly again now. Okay? So you just started pushing oxygen to your muscles, to your organs, and to your brain. So we actually know that students, high school, university students, do way better academically just by moving. They don't study more, they just move more, and they do better, okay? And not only better, I actually did a couple of studies at Andrews with a student, and we found out that it's not that she actually got better grades, she needed to study less time. So she understood what she had to study with less studying time. So that's also nice because we all want more time, right? So the question I want you to ask yourself, why are you sedentary? Why are you sedentary? Think about it. You said earlier, laziness. You talked about technology. But really, what does it come down to in the end? It comes down to one thing, and that's choice. It's a choice. It's not your mom or your dad or your teacher. It's your choice. I'm going to challenge you when you go home. Talk to your teacher. Talk to your pastor in church. Why are we sitting for 3 hours in church? Anybody know? Challenge, 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 because this is real. And we can actually start revolutionizing the way we live and work in better, happier ways. People who are, do you know people who are always negative? Do you know negative people? Whenever I meet negative people, I usually suggest, you know what you should do? Start exercising because you're more pleasant to be around. Because automatically when you exercise, your body releases what we call happy hormones, whether you want to or not, and you become happier, okay? And you smile more as well. So, power of motion, which is what this workshop is about. There's extreme power in motion for all areas of life. I cannot show you everything because we would be here for several hours, but I'll show you some of the highlights of the power of motion. So when you begin moving more and sitting less, you will have more energy. You will have an improved self-image. You will control your weight. You will have higher endurance and stamina. You'll have better stress management. People who exercise regularly and are active are less stressed. Are you stressed ever, or are you not stressed? That's good. That's good. If you're not yet, you will be in life. It'll come eventually. Less injuries. You'll be more fit. Also, you'll have better sleep quality automatically. Okay. You'll be emotionally more stable. You'll have a better outlook on life. You'll have toned muscles. Do you like toned muscles? No, if you said no, you're lying. Everybody likes toned muscles. All right, quicker healing. That's also important. People who are fit and move more, even when they get ill, they get better quicker. So if you have a cold or the flu or you have something else, you usually recover quicker, okay? Lower risk of all chronic disease. The human body is really designed to work best when we're active. So when God created man, He created our whole system to be moving, right? Think about it. Right now, in your system, is there anything that's standing still? Not really. Think about your heart, right? It's just pumping. Right? Your blood's flowing. Your other organs are moving. Your muscles are rebuilding and repairing right now. The whole system works best when you move. The second you start being sedentary, you actually strain your system. It's difficult for your system to sit. God designed us to be moving all day and only to sit or lay down to rest briefly. We have completely reversed that picture. What we do is we are sedentary all day and then we take a break to move, right? It's a conceptual issue that we have. So during the day, I can tell you just about my life briefly and maybe it gives you some ideas. We are transitioning at Andrews the entire university into a healthier and more active campus. So that's my job, by the way. When I was hired, they told me to make Andrews the healthiest university in the world, so we have a lot of work to do. And we're doing that one step at a time. A lot of employees now have active workstations. So we have standing stations, moving stations. We have a classroom where students can stand, or we have foot cycles. So if they sit, they can have a foot cycle while they're in the classroom. We have fit stations throughout the campus so people can work out. So for example, over here, this is a great way when you travel. Have you seen these bands? I'm sure, yes, somewhere. Okay, these are two options. And so what we do is we place what this is called just portable functional equipment around our campus with big resistance balls, bands, so people can grab it and do a few exercises. It's really nice. Whenever I travel, I have these with me, and Torben and some friends who were traveling, and the other day we did a break at a pit stop and we did a few exercises with this band, and it's great because it just changes your thinking into being more active everywhere you go. The problem we have is we grow up in a way where the environment tells us how to behave. It's behavioral psychology. So when you walk somewhere and you see a chair, I will predict you will sit down. And I want to challenge that thinking. It's intentional thinking to say, just because society is telling me to behave a certain way, is this healthy for me? And if it isn't, I challenge you to do what you and I are doing, stand while the rest are sitting, right? And it's awkward, it's socially strange, but in the end, I'd rather be socially strange and live a happier, healthier life, right? And in the end, human beings are curious. The more people do it, chances are the rest will follow and do it too. So if we start changing our thinking to be more active and to follow God's original design, then we will actually benefit all of us from that, okay? So I suggest you get some of these. These are really cheap on Amazon, and just travel around with them. I'll be at the Andrews booth, by the way, over in the little, in the mall over there. If you ever want to come and play with them or do some exercises with me, I'll be doing that throughout the next few days, okay? The more we ask of our bodies, the stronger they become. So this is the good news. If you're lazy now and you're not active, it's okay. My principle I tell all my clients, my patients, my students, I don't care what happened yesterday because we can't change it. It's irrelevant to me. What's relevant is what you're going to do today and the choice you're going to make today and tomorrow and the next day. That's what's important, right? So make a choice today when you leave here to change your mind, to start actually making healthy living outside of eating. Eating is very important, but eating is not a complete story. Movement has huge impact of what happens in your body, okay? The more fit the body, the more efficient and effective it will function in all areas of life. And I'm telling you, I don't know anybody I've worked with that will disagree with what I'm saying. They came to me, I specialized for many years working with severely obese patients. Many of them were given 3 to 4 years to live. And every single time, the person will tell you, the second they start being more active, everything goes better in their life. It feels better. Now, when you're lazy and you start exercising, you might have a little pain here or there because your muscles are not used to it, right? But it's okay. You can all benefit from it. So these are just some pictures because I want you to see that being fit and being active is not just about running, for example. There are lots of things you can do. So you don't have to, again, do what society says you must do. You can do anything you want. So, for example, you might like biking or rock climbing. And these are all pictures from Andrews, by the way. These are some of the options you have there as well. Canoeing, yeah, it's a great way to stay active. Skiing, right? Skiing is great. Golfing is even an activity, even though I could argue that maybe a little. Weightlifting is a good thing, and you don't have to lift these type of weights, right? You can use the bands, or you can use your body, or you can use smaller weights. Pilates is a great activity. We have lots of group fitness classes there as well. We actually have a great big lake and wonderful beaches. That's actually at Lake Michigan. We go play volleyball, do other activities out there. Cycling indoors, machines in the gym. Again, rock climbing you can do. Walking, simply walking, jogging, going outside. And there's many more things. Sorry, I'll go back. For example, rollerblading, skateboarding. I mean, you can do whatever, just so long as you start being more active. Like, what do you call those scooters, right? The adult scooters? Anyway, I love those. I want one of those. Those are cool. But anyway, so just to remind you, physical activity is really any movement of your body. So anything you can do to move is vital. And exercise is a subcategory of physical activity, and it's focused on structured, repetitive, intentional, and prolonged movement. So this is the type of stuff you do where you say, okay, I'm going to get dressed, I'm going to be active now for 30 minutes or for 45 minutes. But just kind of being more active throughout the day will help you to just feel better. So when you go to these meetings, when you go to these workshops, again, don't feel obliged to sit. If you want to, it's your choice, okay? But think about changing your mindset to really becoming more active. This is a little scale to just show you in terms of number of steps, how much you should aim for. So you probably heard this before, but you want to aim for at least 7,500 to 10,000 steps every day, at least. Okay? It's a great way to measure how active you really are. And this is what I see with young people, is that it's not consistent. We have some days where we're really active, and then many days where we're not at all. So it's like this, this journey. And what we want to aim for is to just be more steadily active on a regular basis. Okay? And again, some of you came in late. I said at the beginning, if you have your phone with you, there are great free apps to just measure your steps on your phone, so you don't have to buy anything. I'd highly suggest you do it. And maybe for the rest of the time, you can develop a little competition with your friends, you know, who walks more or whatever. So, okay, so here are the recommendations. If you want to really aim to live a better journey, these are the recommendations. So walk at least 10,000 steps per day, move more, sit less, wherever you are. This is key. I want you all to look at this. Less than 3 hours. That's the goal. Sitting less than 3 hours. We know that a lot of the risk factors fall away if you sit less than 3 hours a day. That's not very much. I mean, you're eating. Most of you will sit while you're eating, right? And already there, you could probably be at an hour and a half or 2 hours if you calculate all the meals together, right? So start thinking about what you can do to minimize sitting and sit less than 3 hours a day. Cardio, you want to work your heart and your lungs at least 3 to 5 times a week, 20 to 60 minutes, so you know where you sweat and you breathe hard. And then strength training exercise at least 2 to 3 non-consecutive days, okay? Strength training doesn't have to be big weights. Like I said, you can work with bands. You can just work with your body, okay? One of the best exercises you can do, period, for your whole body is planks and plank variations. You like planks? You're like, yeah, no. So, you all know what a plank is, the word plank? Can somebody show me a plank? Can anybody do a plank? Plank? Anybody? Yeah, come. What's your name, man? Khalid, come up here. Give him a hand. Good, very good. Good. Go ahead. Show us a plank. Good. And just stay there for me, okay? I will give you some cues here. So this is a perfect plank, everybody. It's a great straight body, right? And keep breathing. Make sure you breathe. Okay, good. So this is a good plank to really practice. And I'm going to showcase why this is so good. He's currently activating literally every muscle in his body is stimulated, right? From the back to the glutes, to the legs, to the core. Everything is activated. Okay, can you do me a favor and come up on your hands? Okay, so this is also a plank. It's just a variation of a plank that will just slightly stimulate your core a little different. Okay, another variation. Can you very slowly pull one knee to your chest? Yep, and put it back, and the other side. And keep doing that. Good. So what he's doing now is a dynamic variation of a plank. And there's many, many more. How are you doing? Are you okay? Are you all right? Yeah. I'm not getting any responses. Good. Okay, that's it. Give him a hand. Good job. Well done. Well done. So planks are a great way to exercise your whole body. And you can do, there's probably 30, 40, 50 variations of planking. And you can actually make it a cardio activity. For example, burpees. Have you heard of burpees? Yeah? Okay, so you go like down, jump back, up. Now, so you go back and forth. So that's a great way to do strength training and cardio. Flexibility. Do you remember the test we just did? Flexibility is highly neglected. And most of you are still pretty young, so you're more flexible, but it will go away unless you work on it. I promise you. Okay? So doing stretching exercise is important, but not this thing, like, that's not stretching, right? We want to really make sure we hold stretches. That's the important part about stretching. Okay. So what I want to show you is in your paper packet there. Can I use one as an example just to show for a minute? Just can I borrow it for a second? So what you have is on the front page is a self-test. And this test will give you a grade at the bottom to show you how you're currently doing with your overall fitness and wellness. So if you get an A, that is very good. That means continue working. If you get a B, C, and so on, you know where you'll at, okay? So this little list will show you what you should aim for every day, okay? Once you've done it, the next section is I have given you a fairly detailed, self-guided way to design a personal fitness plan for life. These are evidence-based resources. I think it's easy. You can go through it yourself, fill it out. And if you have any questions, you can come and talk to me about it. And then last, and I want you to look at the last page, it says Wellness Pledge. Can you open it? The Wellness Pledge? Thank you. So wellness pledge, and that's something that I'd like you to right now take a look at. Take a minute, look through it, and before you leave this room, I would like you to decide what you want to commit to for yourself starting today when you leave this room, okay? Look through it and check off all the things that you think you want to do. Yes? Yes, we ran out of papers, but what I will do is this. Listen up. If you didn't get a paper because we ran out of papers, you can send me an email and I will send it to you electronically, okay? Are you ready for the email? It's very easy. wellness@andrews.edu. wellness@andrews.edu. If you want these papers electronically, send it to me. I'll email you back, okay? So those of you, yeah. So right now, focus on things you're not doing yet. If you already are doing them, you can check them because you know, okay, I'm good, I will do it. But then why don't you pick at least 3 things you are not doing right now and then check them, okay? Good. The email address, wellness@andrews.edu. wellness@andrews.edu. Yes.
Question. Sleeping 7 to 8 hours nightly.
Yes.
Include going to bed and waking up 8 hours after, or actual sleeping?
The idea is that you are actually sleeping 7 to 8 hours, ideally. So not just laying and being awake, but sleeping. Yes. Good question. Yeah. Good. So are you finished with that, the pledge? You got it? Okay. Yes. Email, the papers are out. We don't have enough, okay? Okay. So, what I want to do now is we have about a minute or 2, but I want to just summarize. So, as you leave here, I think we all got the message, move more, sit less, yes? Is that good? Okay. Make a choice, because in the end, it all comes down to that. It's not anybody else's fault if you're sedentary, it's yours. So you need to make choices that are in line with the way I believe God designed us to function best. And it's like I said, it's my passion to help people live a better journey. And since we're all on our individual journeys, I don't care where you're now. Like I said, you're all starting somewhere else. Some of you are already fit. Some of you are already active. But wherever you are, you still have to make a choice every day to do the right thing, right? And that's what it's about. People say to me all the time, well, for you it's easy. I mean, this is what you do. No, I have to make the same choices every day, just like everybody else, right? And so I want to be a resource to anybody that wants to change their lives. So the email I gave you, you can use also if you have questions. If you want to connect with me, that's fine. I'd be happy to talk to you. And like I said, I'll be at the booth this week for the Andrews booth. Come visit us there if you like. And I want to open it up. Do you have any questions? A little Q&A. Anything you want to ask? Anything? Yes. Yeah.
Is driving sitting down?
Driving is sitting. Yes. I mean, if you drive in Valencia, you move a little more when you're driving, but not so much. Yeah, it's sitting. Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
I wasn't here, but I guess that when you asked why we sit so much,
yes.
The major answer was laziness.
Yeah.
But if one simply likes sedentary activity over others.
Yeah. What do? You have to make a choice.
Yes.
Do what you like and then have the consequences, or do some other things and maybe find ways to modify it. Listen, if you like to be or you like to do activities where you're sedentary, like for example, because we're on our devices so much, right? So I have little rules, like usually when I get a phone call and I'm sitting for whatever reason, anytime I get a phone call, I've cued my brain to stand up and walk. I mean, there's little things you can do to really combat this type of thing. Converting your living, working, and study space into an active space will automatically help you. Even if you like to play computer games or whatever, make it a standing active station, okay? Or buy a computer game that cues you to be active. I mean, there's lots of options there as well. Eliminating chairs is the best way to not sit much. I promise you. I have actually, in my home, if you were to visit me in my home, I do have one little couch But in my living room, I have exercise equipment that just lays around. So when people come, it's a very interesting phenomenon. When people come, they see a little couch and they don't want to sit so close to somebody else, so they rather play with the equipment instead. And it works for you too, by the way, for yourself. If you convert your work or your study space into active spaces, you'll be more active without thinking about it, okay? If you have any questions, I'll stick by, but thank you so much and have a great Congress, okay? Thank you.